Hey guys, today we are going to learn how to work with JSON in C++ using popular nlohmann JSON library. In this quick tutorial, we are going to go from zero to hero to work with JSON like a pro in C++. So let's get started. For the based systems like Ubuntu, you can install the library using apt package manager, apt install nlohmann json3 dev. We are going to learn how to validate our JSON using schema validation, so we need to install the extension to our library to support JSON schema validation. We are going to install it directly from GitHub repository, so we are cloning the project, creating the build folder, building the project, sudo make install to install it globally in your system. When you are compiling the code which uses schema validator, remember to link the library properly like this. Let's start with basic operations, creating and parsing JSON data. First, we include nlohmann JSON header file and create namespace alias for convenience. Now let's create JSON class object and add data using library's intuitive syntax, which is really similar how we work with map data structure. And the value can be almost any type: string, integer, array, object, and etc. To convert this JSON object to a formatted string, we can use dump method with integer parameter 4, which specifies the number of spaces to use for indentation. Now let's see what we get from this. Parsing JSON from string is just as easy. We can use raw string literal for better readability, and let's create the same object structure. To parse this JSON, we can use static method parse and pass the JSON string. And let's print it with indentation of 4. And let's see what we get from this. As you can see, everything works fine. Here we create JSON object containing examples of all JSON types: null, boolean, integer, unassigned int, float, string, array, and object. The library provides several utility methods to work with JSON. For example, we can check the JSON for null, and let's print if it's not null. We can check whether the key contains, and as well as we can check the type of the values. For example, we print if is number integer. We can also safely access and convert JSON values using add and get template methods. And for an example, let's get as string and get as integer, and let's print them. Add and get methods throws an exception whether the key not exist or value type mismatch. Here we get non-existing key. And let's execute and see the result of our program. In real applications, you will often need to read or write to JSON files. Let's see how we do this. Writing JSON to a file is straightforward. Using fstream library, we can easily open the file and write it with indentation of 4, and let's close it. And let's execute and see the result. And here is the resulting JSON file. Reading from JSON file is just as easy. Let's create an input file and create an object of JSON and write to JSON object. And let's print some configurations to ensure we have loaded it successfully. Now let's run and see the results. One of the most powerful features of nlohmann JSON library is its ability to convert C++ objects to JSON and JSON to C++ objects. There are two main approaches: using ADL serialization or free functions, and we are going to explore both of them. First, we have our regular C++ class and struct definition with some typical member variables: host, port, username, and password. Now, let's look deeper at ADL serialization approach. Let's configure our config class first. Within nlohmann namespace, we are going to specialize ADL serializer template struct. And as a type name, we are going to pass our class name, config class. Within ADL serializer struct, we are going to declare two static functions. First one is toJSON, which takes two arguments, JSON object and our class object. And the second static function from JSON, which takes also JSON object and our class object. Now let's implement our toJSON method, which is really straightforward. We are going to initialize JSON object coming from argument with new JSON configured with the config class members. Now let's implement from JSON, where we initialize the members of config class with the values of JSON, and we put it in try-catch scope to efficiently deal with malformed input data. For config struct, we are going to copy and paste the same ADL serializer, just changing the type name from config class to config struct. Now let's test it out everything. Let's create our config class and config struct objects, initializing the member variables, and then let's create JSON objects and equalize them config class object and config struct object. The equalization will call toJSON method we declared and defined above and serialize the JSON automatically. Now let's print out our JSONs and execute our program to see the results. And as you can see, we successfully serialized our JSON. Now let's define our JSON string with appropriate JSON structure: host, port, username, and password. Now let's create our config class object and equalize it to JSON object coming from JSON parse method. The JSON parsing the JSON, and the equalization will call the from JSON method and deserialize our JSON into our class object. Let's print out some members and do the same to our config struct. Now let's run our program and see the results. As you can see, we deserialized the JSON successfully. Now let's discuss our free function approach. We are going to use the same example, config class and config struct, from our ADL serialization approach and make some adjustments to integrate our free function approach. First, let's separate out our functions from our ADL serializer. Then remove the static keyword and make them friend functions of our class. Now do the same to our config struct. Separate out our functions and make them non-static, and that's it. We are integrated our free functions approach to our class and struct. Do not forget to make friend functions if you are integrating free functions to your class. Now let's run our program to see the results. As you can see, everything works fine. Now, using either approach, we can easily convert between C++ objects and JSON. In real-world applications, you will need to combine both of the approaches to efficiently serialize and deserialize your objects. Because some of the fields in your object can be from external libraries, for example, universally unique identifier, UUID, std optional, or time data type. And in the example, you can see user profile struct has two optional fields, bio and age, and the compiler saying that nlohmann JSON library do not familiar with std optional data type and do not know how to parse it. In this case, you need to implement ADL serializer to make the library familiar with std optional data type. So let's implement it. Namespace nlohmann, ADL serializer struct, we pass std optional std string. Now let's implement two JSON functions, appropriately checking for null values. If it's null, we are going to assign null pointer to the JSON. And from JSON method, if JSON is null, we are going to assign std null option. Now, as you can see, we have resolved one of the issues with std string. But instead of implementing ADL serializer to every type, we can integrate template types. At the beginning of the namespace, you can see that we have template with empty value. We can add them type name t and pass to the optional t value and make appropriate adjustments in other functions. Now, as you can see, we have resolved every issues. Now our nlohmann library familiar with std optional data type. Now let's run our program and see the results. As you can see, we have serialized and deserialized our object successfully. Finally, let's look at JSON schema validation, which allows us to ensure that our JSON data conforms to a specific structure. In the example, you can see that we have complex nested structures. The structure product has nested dimension structure, and the dimension structure has its own JSON converters, to JSON and from JSON free functions. And our product structure also has its own to JSON and from JSON converters. In the main function, you can see that we have defined a JSON string with appropriate structure. And below, we are parsing this JSON string and deserializing it to our object. Before we deserialize and after we parse the string, we want to validate. To validate, we are going to integrate JSON schema validation. To do that, let's implement a static function that returns JSON, and the JSON describes the data members of our product struct. If you do not familiar with the JSON schema validation syntax, I recommend you visit the official documentation and get familiar with it. Now let's continue describing our member variables. Properties: ID is type string, name is type string, and price is type number, and tags is type array, and the items is type string. The status has an enum of active, pending, and sold. And we have a dimension, and we are going to refer it and implement the schema below. Then required fields: ID, name, price, status, and dimensions. And let's implement the schema for dimensions: width, number, height, number, length, number, and required all of the fields like that. Now let's include JSON schema header file. After we have parsed the JSON string, we are going to initialize our validator, nlohmann JSON schema JSON validator, and call it validator. And we are going to call setRootSchema function and pass it our schema. And we are going to call validate and pass our JSON object. The validate function going to throw an exception if we have some mismatch in the data. Now let's run our program. As you can see, we have a compilation error. It's because we do not link the schema validator library properly. Now let's link it and run again. As you can see, we have a validation error. And the validation error says that our status is not available in enum, because in our schema we declared that the status can be active, pending, and sold, but in our JSON string the status is available. Let's correct it to the sold and let's run it again. And as you can see, we have successfully parsed and validated the JSON.